do the crack.
Don't be a cracker.
Don't be a crack. Addict. Don't be a crack. Addict.
Unless you just wanna.
Unless you wanna.
What are you doing?
Streaming. Don't ask me why. I figured it might be useful.
It's good. It's good to stream it. Oh, the dread is kicking in for me now.
The what?
The Sunday dread. Such a familiar looking feeling.
Sunday dread time.
So cute.
Guess I don't have Abraham. I do have Lewis. Doobly doobly doob. Tools. Analysis board. Okay. D4 and 6.
Turn the sound off.
I have the Twitch thing open. I turned the sound off so we're not hearing things.
Like ghosts.
He played a move I've never seen in my entire life.
Which was?
E3.
You've never seen that before?
No. He's supposed to play C4 or something.
Supposed to, according to what?
Opening theory.
Boring.
G6. And see, we can look at this little number over here to see when my play started going insane. It will start going into the negatives.
This is the one that you won or lost?
I won, but not without loss of drama.
This was this morning or this afternoon?
This was the game I played last. Vishua, Nanagonda. E3, G6, BD3. It likes D5. BG7. See, it wants his pawn to be on E4. Doesn't want any of the stuff that he did. BG7.
He's being wild.
F4. So he's going for the stonewall thing. C5. C3.
It's a big pyramid.
D6. And F3. Castles, castles. Oops. Oh, I castled first. Castles, castles. This setup that I'm playing here is my own self-made anti-stone wall. I made this opening up, kind of.
Like an anti-inflammatory for stone.
Yeah, like gallbladder stone issues. Gallstone. Anti-gallstone. They do this. And they want to put a knight over here. And they want to put the rook up there. They want to put the rook over there. They want to put the queen here. They want to put the queen up there. And they want to go give checkmate. That's what they want to do. They want to leave all these pieces here undeveloped.
Why?
Because they want to checkmate me.
Oh.
That's the general plan. Okay, so QC7. Ooh, it doesn't look bad for me at all. If he played E5, I was going to do this. Let's see what that looks like. No, we're not doing sidelines yet. Let's just get the moves. QC7. And BD2. And C6. Knight G5. I thought that was a horrible move. Computer agrees. E5. Wow, computer thinks. Nope, computer likes it. I should maybe stop listening to the computer. Computer thought that was a horrible move at first, now it says it's good. FX E5. DX E5. DX E5. I don't know why he did that. Yeah, it took a long time. I was considering doing that. I was considering taking with the queen, and I was considering taking with the knight. I ended up, I believe, taking with this knight. Yes, knight takes E5. And in this position, I was like, oh, I'm just winning. The game's over already.
I think that's when I woke up.
That's what I told myself. I'm winning. Game is over. Because...
You had everything.
Well, one of these knights is going to come
Got
here.
it.
I'm going to be threatening mate. This pawn is weak. This bishop is about to be attacked by a rook or something. This queen is in line. And this pawn is horrifyingly bad.
Why is the pawn horrifyingly bad there?
It's isolated. If a pawn doesn't have any of its fellows by it, see along this whole file, there's no pawn, that means this one is isolated. Kind of like us in the room.
We need friends.
We need friends. So he's isolated, so he's very bad. And he's just lost. It's not lost, like, it's not just, it's -2. When you're playing white, you should never be in -2 after move 11, ever. But he's playing like a 1600 should play. He's doing unsound attacks. But as you will see, I did not apparently do what I was supposed to do either. We're not very good at following rules around here. Even though my rating says I should be better at following rules than these children. Apparently I'm not. NX C5. NX E5. Knight D E4. So he played this knight to here. Saki! Go to bed! Go to bed! Good God.
Did you just yell at all the Twitch people?
Yes. I don't know if there's anyone there. There's one person. Sorry to the one person if me and Saki broke your eardrums. Okay.
You broke my eardrums.
So he played. Did he play? Knight D to E4. He played this move. And this move, like, it looks even It's still not good. The position is even worse according to the computer. And all I was doing was calculating if a knight move to here was doing any good whatsoever. Threatening mate. And I didn't come up with it being any good. So I didn't do it. No, I did do it. Did I? I did put one of the knights over here. It didn't end up being good though. Because he pushed h3. And then I pushed this. That's what happened. Okay. And I guarantee you this negative number right here is going to be probably positive to that level or higher, meaning I'm supposed to be losing. I promise that's coming up. This is a 90-minute game with 30-second increment, I think. And you get like another half an hour after you reach 40 moves. You have a lot of time to think. What the fuck your position? Knight to e4, okay. N, F, G4, so this one to here. Computer doesn't like it that much. Doesn't say it's the worst move ever. Okay, he plays h3. I was considering this move here, but I didn't play it. Instead, I played h6. Computer's probably gonna hate that one. Doesn't hate it. Doesn't think it's great. h3, h6. Okay. He takes my knight. hx, g5. Wait, what? Oh, he takes my knight. Oh, I don't know why I put hx, g5. And I take his knight. He doesn't like me taking his knight either, but I'm still apparently winning here, or have the advantage. be2, that was the correct move. qe7. I don't know. qd6. It liked that move. Takes. Bishop takes g4. So my play wasn't as atrocious as I thought. It's gonna get there though. Maybe I was fine the whole time and I'm just misjudging myself. Probably not though. Knight takes g4. Knight takes d6. bx g4. bx g4. Knight takes g4. Knight takes b7. Computer likes the move that I played, which is c5. So in this position, it's equal material. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns for black. 5 pawns for white. And I said, I'm still better here. That's what I told myself. Computer says, you're still better here. Something went wrong. The reason why I think I'm still better here is because, number one, all of my pieces are developed. His piece is not developed. His bishop is stuck behind his own pawn. And when he moves his bishop out somewhere, I can bring a rook over here and target that weak pawn, which can't move forward very well because of that. He did end up doing this, and I maybe should have done take en passant, but I didn't. So let's see what happens. c4, knight d6, knight d6, knight e5. It likes bishop here. I played the knight here. Just guarding my pawn. Now it's saying I'm not as good as I was before. Knight e5. e4, which I expected, so his bishop can breathe. He just wants to grab that pawn and develop his last piece. rf d8. It likes my move. Knight b5. And then I played g4. It wants that immediately. I did end up playing that, but I played g4. Maybe this was the bad move. Yeah, still fine. g4, knight c7. He wants to get his knight into here, where his knight being here was the biggest pain in my ass in the whole game. Knight c7, ra, b8, knight d5, rook b7. Bishop g5. Rook e8. In this position, I was like, so he has some threats here. He has this threat, check, forking the king and the rook. And if I don't want to give my rook up with king over, knight takes, king takes. If I don't want to do that, then I have to take his knight with my bishop, and he retakes with his bishop. And I had to sit there and think, is there any way, if he did that, that he could possibly say, like, play king up here, play rook over, and then give checkmate that way? And I ended up thinking, it's fine. He can't checkmate me, so I'll go on with my own plan, which was to get my knight in here and to win this pawn. And eventually try and push that and get some back rank threats. That was my plan. I did have a plan. Rook e8. Okay, he played b4 here. He didn't like that weakness. I had to play rook e8 because this bishop was attacking my rook. So he played b4. It didn't even want en passant. It wanted my move, which was knight d3. And then he played rook f6, which was really weird. Maybe that was like a genius kid move, I don't know. Does that move make sense to you? Rook f6? Because you just take with the bishop, right? Take with the bishop.
The bishop takes back.
And then knight takes back with check, and then he gets the rook back. So this rook move is just a way to develop a piece. Slash, it looks cool. I don't know if there's anything beyond that. Nope. Oh. Computer is saying just play rook e5. I played rook e4. I took the pawn. Wow. Why rook e5?
You can take this with this.
I'll look into that after I want to get all the moves in, so the main line will be there, then I can make branches off of the main line. rf6. Okay, so I just took the pawn. I didn't see anything amazing for him. So there's something that the computer saw in rook to here that was just like amazing and essentially super winning. Whereas what I'm doing here is just winning. What I'm doing here is going to be not. Maybe I'm just lying to myself and I was fine the whole game. I don't know. I feel like even up to here, something was going wrong. No, once he got a rook up on my 7th rank. I feel like when that moment comes, when he takes this pawn here, when that moment comes, it's going to say that he's winning or doing really well. That's what I feel. Rx e4, 27, 28. Oh, this is how I got it in. Rook d6. Okay, rook d6. I played rook b8 because I didn't want. I was again afraid of back rank issues, but apparently I didn't play this move because I thought he was just going to take my pawn.
Why didn't you put it up then?
But what up?
The rook. You're trying to make it to the king first.
Well, I didn't want him saying check. And I have to come here, and then he says check. I take, and he's threatening checkmate. Now, apparently this move is fine, but to me in the game, I said I can't play that move because his rook is going to take my pawn here.
Mm-hmm.
Computer, which knows everything, says it's fine if he takes that pawn. And we can look into that line and find out why that's fine. But My brain doesn't say things that computer says. So,
Yeah.
so I didn't. My brain did not tell me that this move here was okay. So instead, I played rook b8 to defend against back rank issues. Computer hates that move. All advantage, most of advantage gone. And he played the computer move, which is rook f8. So now all his pieces are in the attack.
Do you think he just knows all the moves?
No, he's just a kid.
So,
He's just playing well. He didn't play well the
are
whole
there
game.
some kids that are like that though?
Chess is hard, and kids are smart.
Yeah, but so are adults.
He didn't play like, say for instance, the girl that I played. The girl just played almost all terrible moves and got checkmated. This kid played lots of very good moves
He looked very
and got checkmated.
antsy.
He had 20 minutes off of his clock by the time the game was over. I was at like 30 minutes left.
He had to wait a lot for you. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
he was waiting. He was waiting.
Yeah.
most of the
And he
time.
looked when I was there, when I was standing beside you, he was like, "God, when is this guy gonna fucking go?"
He's a 12-year-old, of course.
He was 12.
He had to have been somewhere around
He
there.
looked 7.
Maybe he was 7.
He looked.
The other kid was only 8.
He looked definitely 7.
Okay, so rook f1. So none of the atrocities have happened yet. They're coming up. Rook f1. Do. What move are we on? 29? Sorry, not rook f1. Why did I say rf8? He didn't put rf8. I write things down really crappy. rf8 should have said rf1. 29 rf1, okay. rb e8. So I doubled. It's reasonable, right? No, not reasonable, says computer. No, computer says reasonable. Okay, rook d7. So he's aiming at my f7 pawn. f5. Okay, I think this is probably the moment where the computer's going to hate what I did. It's going to say f5 was atrocious.
Nope.
Nah, still reasonable, huh? Okay. Then he played a really weird move. He played bishop h6, which was... Okay, it looks like he's giving up a free bishop, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I take the bishop, then he says check. King has 2 spots to move. Since the rook is guarding all these, king can move here or here. If the king moves here, then rook comes over and says check and mate. That's checkmate. If the king moves here, then knight goes here and says check, and the king has to go back, and he would have perpetual if he wanted, and that would be a draw.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to give him a draw because I felt like I was winning.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't give him a draw. So instead I did this move, which computer says is correct. Bishop h8. He took the pawn. Rx a7. I played g3 because I figured lots of mate threats were coming toward him. g3. He said, I'm gonna get another queen. So he pushed that pawn. b5. Okay, and then I played this move here, which is probably suspect, but I had a reason for it. Computer, you gonna finally slap me hard here? It can't figure it out. I can't figure out if it should slap me or not. Wow. If I get to the end of this game and I didn't make any crazy blunders, it will be a surprise to me. That means I'm more consistent than I thought on accident.
I'm sure that would be the case.
Oh man. Okay. The reason I played this move is because I wanted to play knight here. I was making all kinds of fancy checkmates in my head, right? I was going to play knight here, threatening rook to h1 checkmate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was all planning for him to take my knight with his rook. And then I was going to not take with the pawn. he was going to take here, and I was going to come say check. He was going to bring his rook back, and then I was going to sacrifice this one here and say check, and he has to take it, and then this rook here is going to take this rook for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, he can't do much about that, and he probably won't even see it because that's a pretty deep idea. It's fairly deep. It's relatively deep. It's not an easy idea. He probably miss it, and I'll just give checkmate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Well, that was a possibility. I didn't know for sure if he was going to do it or not, but I was hoping. Rook h4. He played bishop g5. I played rook h5, which is computer recommended move. He played knight e7 check. I played kf7. So it wanted me to sack the exchange, which I ended up doing anyway. It wanted me to do that immediately. I played king here. I played. No. I put my king into the cross. Look at the rook. Look at the rook. He has discoveries everywhere. But I looked at all my pieces and I said, can he touch any of my pieces by moving this knight with the knight? Can he touch this piece after he moves the knight somewhere? No. Can he touch this rook after he moves the knight somewhere? No. Can he touch this rook after he moves the knight somewhere? No. All I can do is like grab a pawn. He can grab one pawn. That's all he can do. It's a good pawn to grab, but that's all I can do. Okay. This game is insane. So I played king f7, which is also an insane move to play. He didn't even take the pawn. He played knight d5. And he played knight d5 because he didn't know that the exchange sacrifice here was winning for black. Otherwise he would have just taken his pawn. I didn't know it was winning for black either. I thought I got lucky. Knight d5 check. So check. I played king f8. And now he doesn't have any more perpetuals. He has bishop check, which looks annoying, which he did play. And I just took the bishop. This was where I gave up the exchange. And when I took this, I was like, in my head, I said, this is either still good for black somehow because I'm going to basically win this pawn. This bishop is going to come say check. You know, he's going to have to give up a rook or something. It's either going to be still like decent for black or else white is just going to get a queen and destroy me. Yeah. I held those two equal. I didn't see far enough ahead to see that I was like clearly winning. So I took this. Wait a second. So the exchange before was good, but it's not good now, apparently. Okay, this was the first time where the computer doesn't say the game is still at least equal. It still says it's relatively equal. You gotta find accurate moves though. Rx e7, knight takes e7. Bishop takes c3. Bishop takes c3. He took the pawn like he was supposed to. I played king e8 like I was supposed to. And apparently he was supposed to do this. Essentially, he's supposed to not let his rook fall with this check here. He's not supposed to do that. But he did that. But even if he came here, apparently it's still somewhat equal, but now white has a slight edge instead of black having the big edge the entire time. But he didn't play that. He played Because he can't stop my bishop coming here. Even if he plays check and I move over, he can't bring his rook over here, say for instance, and stop it because my pawn's here. So he can't stop that. So that looks really scary. Right now it looks like he's going to have to give up this rook. And he's like, probably thought, well, screw it, I got to give one of the rooks up, so I might as well give that up. And now it's saying that there's not even an advantage. It's just equal. So my initial thing that said, oh, I was completely losing was just wrong. I don't know. Bishop e8. What? What did we just play? King e8. Okay. King e8. He played rook d1, which just game was over because now again this happens and his rook goes away. So this happened. Kf1 takes the rook. A4. He's still trying to make those do something. And I played rook h6 because his knight can't go anywhere. All squares are covered. And he would have to like sack his deal here. But that wouldn't even work because now he's removing his escape square if I want to come and say checkmate. So the knight is just done for, and he resigned in this position. Okay, so I can probably do. So I was just wrong. I was at worst very slightly. At worst very, very slightly worse. Never even losing. But you do that because like you can't see all the moves, so you exacerbate possible threats into something that's actually real when it's not, just because you can't see that far ahead. So let me look at a little bit of the other things that the other sticking points in this game. First off, let's do the good old analysis. What time is it? No, you don't have to keep watching.
I want to, but it's very hard for me to focus on a person playing. It's the same when I watch it. I try to watch soccer on TV.
Where did the request analysis go? I need to hear. Computer analysis. Flipboard. Maybe I need to make it into a study. Let's make it into a study. New study. Okie dokie. I know there's like an easier way to do this, but I don't know what the easier way is, so I'm just going to do it like this. Alrighty. It's crickets in the room. Crickets! So, let's see how long we followed opening theory. I guess there are some, I guess E3 is a move. This is still book for some people.
What?
Book just means that like high level players have played this opening, and that it's not like full of errors, fraught with errors. Yeah, 3 can. Oh wow. So my own little pet line is used by 2500s, or was in
You thought you
2009.
made it up?
Yeah.
Well, you did make it up.
I did. But now we're just in me territory.
Mm.
So let's find out why. Why is rook e8 so good here? And why didn't I consider it? I think I didn't consider it because I felt like he was just giving the piece up because my knight was hanging. I thought rook e8, check, check, wait. Oh, that's why. That's why. Wait. Rook e8, check, takes, takes, takes. Is it because like the rook is getting trapped over there with the bishop f5 or something? Like why is why is that so bad for white? That's what I need to know. Let's find out. Let's see what the alt computer says. Takes, 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 takes. So he's gonna guard his rook. Still even material. Bishop g4. Is it even material? Pawns are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 2 minors, and 2 rooks. So the computer somehow says this position is just completely losing even though the material is equal. This is the kind of thing that I don't see in my own mind. I just can't make a rational explanation. I can say, yes, white is behind in development, bishop is trapped behind his own pawn, my pieces are all developed, all that. I can say all that good business, but I can't say why exactly the computer will evaluate this as -4. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. So it wants to take the pawn. That's really weird. What if I just develop this pawn? Oh. Oh, that's why there's a threat. Because that's what I didn't notice. I didn't notice that bishop g4 was threatening rook d8 to win the queen. So back in this position, for me to understand exactly why that was winning, I would have had to see that and know that bishop can't develop to save this square because rook will take the bishop. It's pretty far ahead. If I ever get this game again, I will know that.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I get this exact position and I've done like a talk through analysis of the game, then I will remember. Don't worry about trying to attack h2. There's not much going on there. Just pin the bishop, let this trade happen here, and then get this bishop out, and you'll be threatening rook down to win a queen, and you'll essentially win a piece.
Yeah.
That's what my brain will say if I ever get this exact position again, or even a similar position. It will likely queue up that analysis. So that's why rook d8 is good. Bishop in, so the point is rook is trying to come here, win the queen, and bishop can't come out and protect that square because then the rook will just take the bishop. So computer is saying best move is rook takes f7, which is a horrible move. So
To like computer.
yeah, it's a horrible move, computer.
It's not actually. Because that king has to come and take the rook, right? Well, it's not actually true because that king doesn't have to move there at all.
It's saying that now rook is attacking my queen, and if black takes back with this knight, then the defense is removed from that, and the queen can take that. That's what it's saying. But the problem is, after all that happens, then this knight that took the rook is going to also take that knight. So it will be a rook and a knight for a rook. That's where the piece win happens in this particular line. Just like that. Now he finally gets his bishop out, but my rook is out, and I'm a piece up. He's wanting to sack the bishop, and takes, but it's just, takes, and takes. But he's still just a piece down. So rook d8 was better. I did not play rook d8. I played knight fg4. He played h3. Oh, it's saying even in this position, rook d8 is better. Okay. I even thought about doing that. I thought about playing rook d8 here. This is what this is telling me is that activity over sort of activity always trumps everything. Me playing this move here, h3, like you don't want to play passively if you're attacking. If you're ahead in development, you want to play aggressively. But active is better than aggressive. Aggressive can have you overpressing. h3. If rook goes here, he takes the knight. We take his bishop. King over. I was thinking he could still stay on this diagonal. Like this. Oh no, because he's just losing his pawn. That's why that's better. I did that one anyway. Your max power is low. What time is it?
45.
Yeah. All four, including me. Computer's trying to overheat and take off. Lewis is here. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about? So according to this computer, I only played one, like, sort of blunder. Not blunder, but one baddish move. And that was not sacking exchange the first time. That was the only bad move I played in the game. But my brain says versus a 1600, there should be something better going on than that, which is probably bad logic.
Yeah.
It says everything is equal-ish until I'm either always winning or it's sort of equal until he played knight e7 check and I didn't sack the exchange immediately. This was me playing king to f8. No, king to f7 was the only mistake. Mistake. Computer might note it as a blunder. But even then, it's not a horrifying blunder. Computer thinks about it and it goes actually to even eval.
Really?
0.1.
Yeah, so think about it for a while.
0 actually now. So maybe I didn't make any mistakes. But I did make mistakes because the eval was at -4 and I didn't. Letting it get back to 0 means you made mistakes.
What, at the end of the evaluation?
You should only, if you get -2, it should stay at -2, then it should go to -3, then it should go to -4, then it should go to -5, then it should checkmate. Theoretically speaking, if you're playing only good moves. Computer doesn't give Ys. G3, NF2, RH4 mates. What? In what position? Yeah, I talked about that line already. It wasn't available yet though. It wasn't available yet. If it was available, I would have played it. Okay. So he did the discovery. I played back. He played bishop. E7. I sacked the exchange. Is the rest of the game not in here? The heck? Why did it only up to move 37 go? I put the rest of them in there. That's ridiculous. B7 plus. I sacked the exchange at this moment. No, this was the one that the computer didn't like. But then once it thought about it, it was like, I guess you're okay anyway, after all. So it takes with the knight, takes with the bishop. Yeah, after the computer looks at all this stuff, then it says, maybe you're okay. Let's look at it a little further. It's saying rook to e7 check is the best move. But then once the computer gets to this position, which is the only position that it's thinking about, it says that the evaluation is exactly equal. So computers are not always the smartest things in the world, at least by us thinking, since it says +5, it means anything. It means something, but we can't always understand what it's trying to say. G3, NF2, RH4, in what position, Liz? I was trying to go for that if it ever came around, but it never seemed to come around quite exactly right. So that's not what happened. He played check, I moved over. And he played rook E. Rook D1, which lost immediately. And bishop up, king over, takes rook. And I played knight back to win this bishop, or to win this. Sorry, what? RD8. RD1, DD4 plus, KF1, BX A7. Oh, he played A4. And in this position, I played rook here to win the knight, but what I was wanting to play, I should have played just because it looked cool. And this will be the end of this analysis. But I wanted to play this move right here. Look. You like that one? Thought I played that. It looks cool, doesn't it?
It looks cool.
Doesn't look like I'm just giving up my knight.
Well, yeah, that's why I can't figure it out. Why are we doing that?
It's two reasons. One, if he doesn't just take it, then the knight is now covering the king's only escape square, and I can say checkmate if he does not take that knight. The king can't move over here to stop this, because my bishop is covering the diagonal. And if he does take it, he's moving his rook too far away from the king. So if he takes, I just come down here and say check, and it's not mate, but I'm winning the rook now for the knight. That's why I was, and that the evaluation is about the same if I were to do that, or just.
How do you determine if a move looks cool?
A move looks cool if, like, on first glance, it looks like scary. Like it looks like he was giving a piece away. In that game where I just fell into an opening trap, what he did looked cool because it was like, here's a pawn for free, and he's like, nope, it's not free actually. It's a poison pawn. Yeah. So let's see what the overall analysis of this game is. Rook E7. This is not the main line. It doesn't really matter. It was supposed to bring my whole deal over. Oh, this is the one. This is the one that needs to be made mainline. That one is not mainline. This is mainline. And then this was the one that I thought about. And now we should be able to request the analysis. Make sure the chapter is complete. You can only request analysis once. Chapter is complete. Request analysis. That fat guy was that fat guy was 1950 and a little kid owned him. That little 8-year-old that basically beat me, but didn't beat me. Because he offered to draw. Yes.
There's one extra he was 9 months pregnant.
I forgot to put the link here. Snail chest. Oops. Joel should have more wherewithal than that, though. He knows where the Twitch is. He's been on there before. Joel's just being Joel.
Oh God.
Joel's being Joel. The kid only took when saw the guy's score sheet rating. Bishop check KG8. KG8. Why did I not play that? I don't know why I didn't play that. I don't even know if I consider that. I think at this moment I was making up things in my head that he was better or something, or that he actually had an attack. KG8. Oh, I know what the problem was. In this position, since I was wanting this whole thing of knight here, you know, rook takes, rook e1, rook back, rook check, king over. Since I was wanting that cute little mate the entire time, I got pissy that I couldn't have it. And I couldn't have it because he was blocking my vision here. At that point, since my plan for mating him wasn't working, I figured this pawn was going to be way too fast, and he was just gonna get a queen. That's why I didn't play king g8. That's why I played takes this one, because I knew I was going to get this pawn, and I knew I was going to get this check, whether or not I was winning that rook. That's what my logic was for that one. So if he takes here and knight f2, he just takes it. Just takes. This only worked when this rook was around to go there. Knight f2 only worked when that rook was around. And the bishop blocking me blocked the mate ideas. He's just going to queen. I mean, I guess I can come around and stuff, but this looks terrible. He never queens. Anyway, that's enough for that opening. Oh, I wanted to. Okay, here's the here's the analysis. So I was always it was always in the black. He was never really doing better. White had 63 centipon loss. Black had 38 centipon loss. He had 4 blunders. I had 1 blunder. It's a very interesting game at the minimum. I'm gonna show you the little kids game versus me really fast, just because that game was. I'll show the other games later on, but I'm just gonna show these two right now. I'm gonna go to bed. Then I'm gonna go to bed. So I guess this should just be saved, right? I don't think I have to press save or anything. Fun game. Let's make sure that that study actually saved. And it did. It saved everything. Okay, good. I have to be up at like... Yeah, I essentially have to go to bed. So. Essentially. So that was that kid. He was 1635. The other game I had today was an Elizabeth R. Wiley, who I had checkmated in 22 moves. Ryu Zhao was the one that I drew. He's the 8-year-old child genius. Pranov was actually 4 out of 5 going into today, so there's a possibility that he actually won the entire tournament. That was the guy that I blundered. Knight takes d5 on move 6 in the Cambridge Springs variation of the Queen's Gambit declined exchange variation. And the first one I played was Leo Q Wing 1683, who I checkmated in 32 moves. So I finished on 3.5 out of 5. But I only had one strong opponent, and I blundered into an opening trap with him. Actually, that's the other game I definitely want to show you guys at some point, but because I need to go to bed, I'm only going to show Ryu Zhao. And I already showed you the Vishua game. How did you go into today going 4 of 5? How tired are you from sitting? Was she hot? What? I don't know what you're saying to this. Like normal. How do you go into today going 4 or 5? Three and a half out of 5. Oh, the girl Wiley? Was she hot? She was like 12. Yeah, I can't comment on that. She's too young. Okay. So I'm going to show you this game, and then, again, I'm repeating myself, I know, but again, after that, I'm going to bed. Crystal is wheelchair. Wiley, Crystal, Christy Meyer. Oh, I played a Wiley. Played an Elizabeth Wiley. Is that her mother? But this girl's Asian. The girl in the wheelchair is another Wiley? I don't know. Ryu Zhao versus Gary. He's 1609. He played e4. b4, e5. Knight f3. Knight c6. bc4. bc5. He did not play c3, which lots of kids like to play because they like to be aggressive. Played knight c3. I played d6. He played h3. Knight f6. d3. So he's playing very slow game. Bishop e6. Looks like we're still in book for a couple games. Bishop e6. He didn't take, he declined, played bishop b3. I ended up taking that. That ended up being bad for me. I know taking that is never a good idea. Almost never. Bishop b3, q d7. Now I'm playing him like he's a 1600 and not a genius to be 8-year-old. But if I had played him like he actually plays, then I would have perhaps been a bit more conservative. Queen d7. Bishop e3. So he's just developing like normal. I took. He took. I castled long. And he actually kind of tricked me because he ended up castling short. I thought he was going to castle long too. His castling short made it be, you know, attack versus wing attack Even though he didn't attack by pushing his pawns, he attacked by like bringing rooks, rook lifts, and his rooks got on like in weird places. 9 long castles. Then he played qd2 to make it look like he was going to long castle. So he was still trying to trick me. I played d5. He took exd5, bishop x d5. He played e4, which was a strong move. And then I took the bishop, because I could have gone back. Bishop takes b3, so now I gave him this open a file, which ended up being why I was totally lost at some point. But to be continued. Ax b3, rh e8. Knight b5. This was I was like, oh, he's being a 1600, this is great. But he was trying some tricks. He had some tricks up his sleeve. I thought about not pushing, you know. I did consider not pushing. I considered just king over. But I was like, pushing or king over, they're kind of similar. But they turned out not to be exactly similar because he had this move here, which actually turns out to be something to consider. When he first made that move, I was like, oh, he's just being cheeky or something. But it was actually a good move in the long run. Even though computer is evaluating me as advantage, having the advantage here. So queen f2, I played king b8, and then he moved his knight back. Knight c3. I played h6. I don't know why I played h6. I was considering that here. Why did I play h6? I think I played that because I was wanting to do this. If he castled short, that was going to be my plan. Anyway, h6, still all sort of reasonable play. Castled short. Then I did play knight h5. He played his knight in, and then I played f5. I knew this move was coming at some point, and I knew it was going to be something I had to deal with, but I didn't deal with it properly at all. f5, he can't take because his knight is going to hang, and then I was also considering just, making a huge pawn storm. Which I should have probably considered further. f5, rook d1. Yeah, it likes my pawn storm idea. And then I played queen f7. Why did I play queen f7? Why did I play queen f7? I think I wanted to guard my knight in case he played queen here or something. I don't even remember my rationale for queen f7. He played c4, which I thought was a good move. I played knight f4. With the idea to take on d3 and rook takes and pawn here. And I figured if he just took this, then his most advanced piece would be out of my hair, and I'd have an advanced pawn, and he'd have the backup pawn. So if all that happened, I was going to be happy. Knight f4. He played rook a3. Wait. He played the other rook to d1, sorry. He played rook fd1. I'll move 18. I'll move 19. Okay. I gotta delete from here. After f5, he played the other rook to d1. And then I played queen f7. c4. Knight f4. I played rook a3, which I thought was highly dubious. And apparently it was. I played here. He took. I took. He played rook e3. I played takes knight. And he took with the rook. Okay. At this point, I was like, I'm just winning. This rook is out of play. I'm going to play my queen back. I'm going to bring this rook over. We're going to trade a pair of rooks. And then the queen's going to come back again, and some mate is going to happen along this file. That was my essential thinking. Why not knight e4? I thought he was better in the game. I'm putting the moves in for. It's gonna be in the study. You can you can comment, but I'm like inputting them for the first time as a main line, so I'm not gonna be paying too much attention to the comments. I'm also gonna upload this to the channel. So computer says, agrees with me that I'm just doing very well here. And I'm up a pawn, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm not up a pawn, but his rook is misplaced unless there's some attack happening over here, which there's clearly not yet. His attack happened when he got his queen into c5, and I misplayed quite badly. And I did think about queen here, or the computer move, threatening checks and things and whatnot. I didn't play that. I played queen back. 24. Rook takes f3. I played queen g1, which it doesn't like as much because of the move that he did play, but it still says advantage. Queen c5. Now here, I have to be already ready for this. I have to be doing something to prepare for b4 in this exact position, and I didn't prepare for it properly. I guess guarding c7 is important. That's all the computer wants to do right now. It doesn't want me to think about attacking yet. It says guard c7 first. But I didn't. 25, queen c5. Rook f8. This was what I played instead. Okay, it's still fine. Okay, then he played b4. Now, maybe it's not still fine. Maybe the computer is eventually going to say this is just a win for white. I'm not sure. But I sat and stared at this position for so long you wouldn't even believe. Queen e6 versus queen g8 helps stop the attack. Queen g6 versus queen g8. Yeah. Queen e6? Oh, let me get the moves in. So in this position, I probably saw some ghosts, but b4 looked tremendously bad to me if I were to allow that to happen. Or sorry, b5. So he played b4. I played e4. And the point being, if he took, I just wanted to take back with the queen. Wait, why did I do that? Did I play e4? Yeah, I did play e4. Yeah, I played e4 because I thought this was where he confused me. He actually played rook over here, which was probably a really good move. So I played e4. He played rook b3. Now, this is probably actually a good move. The computer, maybe not. Maybe it's equal. At this point, this was the point where I was like, oh, maybe I'm about to get mated if I don't watch out. Or at least I saw that there was tons of danger potential in the position. Rook b3. So like his rooks are like on the third rank and attacking, and his whole back rank is just like wide open. I have a passed pawn. I'm gonna bring the queen in, and I can give a check. You know, the knight might be able to come in. There were lots of things, but c7 was also tender, and he had b5 coming, and both of those looked b5 with conjunction of this one being very weak was very scary to me. So e4, he played rook b3. I played queen f7. And, you know, at this point, I knew this was coming, and I was like, it started looking worse and worse, and I was just thinking I had to bail out somehow. But there wasn't any perpetual, so I was kind of like getting ready to lose at this point. And to see something like rook to see something like rook f5, which is what the computer wanted. Like, I just would never see that. We'll look at that line, though, after I get all the moves in. Computer, you can't see the points on here, Lewis? Computer says plus 2.7. You probably lost after b4. Yeah, after b4 I was lost. I spent so much time after b4. So queen f7 after b5. I wasn't lost after b4. I was lost after queen f5. Or after queen f7, I think I was lost. It's saying it's not necessarily lost, but I think it was. So he played b5. I played queen f1, king out. And I did the only move that I could do, which was sack my, which was, you know, sack my rook with the intention of playing knight here, and of course, this move, and possibilities of check. That was my plan here. So I sacked. He took. It wants to go here. Now, in this position, I was like, I have to be active. I have to play rook here. And I mentally blundered here. Because I thought after rook to f2, he had to either sack his queen, or if he played rook here, then I could play knight in here. And my idea was that I was threatening check, and I thought this rook had to take it, which would equal in checkmate. But actually, this other rook could have taken the knight, right? And of course, this rook is already on the pawn here at this point. So after this other rook takes the knight, I can't even take it back with the pawn because he just says check. And that's mate, right? I can't even move my rook back to defend mate because his rook is here. His rook is in the way. This rook is in the way. Okay, so just to show that line that I miscalculated because I thought this rook had to take back on f3, but the other rook could. So I played here. I was thinking maybe he's going to sack the queen, but it turns out that it was just lost after this, like fully, completely lost. And he played this move like I thought he should, and at this point he offered the draw. And then after he offered the draw the first time, I shook my head because I still thought that this was winning. I still hadn't seen that he can take with this rook. And I was like, no. And then so I said no, right? Then he took this pawn here. No, I pulled a knight in, right? Then he took this pawn. And after he took that pawn, he offered the draw again. And I didn't even see this move. I didn't see that move. But I don't see how I could see that move. So yeah, so he's just threatening check. And, you know, I have back rank issues. I can't bring that back even. Apparently this knight back is somehow the best move in this position, but my whole idea here was to be able to do this, and he can just take with the rook. As we shall show. I didn't actually play that. After rook g3, we agreed to a draw, but he just takes here. And then, you know, I can't take back because checkmate in one. So there were some brain farts in that last bit of calculation, but and I'm not sure why he offered the draw. Well, I know why he offered the draw. He offered the draw because he didn't see that this rook was going to take back. He thought this rook had to take back. He just he was playing well enough that he should have seen all that, but he didn't see it. So hard to make perfect moves when you feel like you're losing. Yes. Just show those thoughts. Can you send me by text the game of NXD5? Which game? So this was, yeah. So after G3, I'm going to delete from here. After G3, after Rook G3, we agreed to a draw. Even though he was just completely winning. Completely winning. I mean, knight here is such a silly threat. Maybe he could have even played that or something. Where knight check and he comes here and, queen check and he somehow like runs out, like it was just unsound calculation. The whole end of that game was unsound calculation. I was even considering like sacking the exchange at this point. Not this point, but like after here. But then his queen here move made that impossible. Even if I defend, it might still be like not great for black. Okay, it's saying you can just bring your knight in. This b5 is only super dangerous when it's hitting the knight and the pawn. What would happen if he ignored the threat and just pushed anyway? Takes. And the queen could just come here. Yeah. What time is it? 10:30. So let's go. Study. Chapter 2. I need to rename it at some point. Wait. Where do you want to stay? I want them to stay together somehow. What? I don't get this. How do you remove a chapter? I don't know how to remove a chapter. Edit chapter. Okay. Delete chapter. Delete chapter. Can I just add to this one? It should just port over, but it's not porting over. Okay. Delete. Okay, until I learn how to do this properly, I'm just going to say new study. Marujao. See, like, it's not even saving the moves I made. Ugh. Why didn't it save the moves? And what is this NF3 D5? Okay, so this just not saving anything or doing anything that I'm wanting it to. And gross. Anyway. I guess I have to do it. Don't want to do it. Why? Yeah, why doesn't it save? It's so annoying. It's a huge pain in the ass. Do I have to go straight to study? Don't do analysis board first? Quite annoying. Because then it's like not saving the thoughts and the quirks that should have been saved in there. Oh well. NC3, D6, H3, NF6, D3, BE6, BB3, D7, BE3, BX3, castles, QD2, D5, BX5, RH8, B5. Queen b8, knight c3, h6, castles, knight h5, knight d5, f5, rook fd1, queen f7, c4, knight f4, rook a3, knight takes d3, rook takes d3, fx e4, r Alright, so go to bed, Saki. b4, b4, rook b3, queen f7. Probably the losing move. b5, queen f1. rx d5. I wonder if there was some perpetual here. There couldn't have been. Here's rook over. cx d5, rook f2, rook g3, and draw. Even though it was completely winning for white. How do you write draw? Queen f8, we need to put dubious, queen f7, dubious move. Although, what was the move here? Just guard f7. Guard c7, sorry. Okay, that's that. You guys can comment on here if you want. I think I have it open to everybody. If you want to make comments on the opening or the moves or anything, feel free. Queen f2. What 1600 makes that? The point being that if I took, then he has rook up, knight has to go back, and he has queen over here. And I can, it's not mate or anything, but he's going to win that, and he's probably going to win that pawn too. So now he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's a pawn up. And I just don't like going into positions like that. Although my brain did not tell me, as far as minor pieces, even after all of this, right? Even after that, rook a8, knight back, queen a7, and he wins the knight somehow. My brain neglected to tell me in that moment that it will be back to even material as far as minors is concerned. Brain didn't really make that clear to me, so I didn't seriously consider this line. Also, it's just letting his pieces get in. Also, it's just bad. So, but it's also not threatening anything. Queen F2 isn't threatening anything. Just king over. Anyway. Where was Andrea in the hotel? You have it in opening manual mode that only brings up GM games. Queen F2, knight D4. Knight D4, really? It hates that for black, but it's not saying exactly why. Maybe it's because of the weakness along here. F7 pawn's probably gonna fall. It's saying give up this pawn. It doesn't like that at all. Can we just guard? And guard. Remove the knight. Computer doesn't like it, Lewis. Not one tiny bit. I don't have to have GM games. Oh, actually, I think I can switch it. There's a way of switching between like just GM game, just master games. No, I don't want to do that. I would look more into this, but I have to go to bed. So I'm gonna do a little graphy graph thing and call it a day. Was saying why not letting input words? His attack is done. Andrea was sitting in the playing hall, she was sitting down in the corner drawing. Then someone came up and saw her using her phone, said, "Gotta turn that shit off." Take the kid's draw. He's gonna be 20. He probably will be 2000 soon. I'm sure he will. He's freaking 8. He's probably gonna be one of those child phenoms, titled at like 12 or 13 or something. Did you say hi to her? I don't know if she said hi to anybody. Ryu? Who does he look like? I don't know. Christopher Yu? Why you? I don't know. Maybe. Games. What is this? Games 5 and games 5 and 3. Games 5 and 3. Central California. Opening. Central California Open. So I'm gonna upload this to the Snail Chess channel as well. Games 5 and 3, and I'll get the other 3 games up. The one I played against the guy who probably won or got second was very interesting, even with me falling into that opening trap, and I'm very curious to see what the computer says about it. So we're going to say good night. Good night, Lewis, and the one other person who's here. Again, feel free to go in there and... Where's the graph? Why is the graph not here? White had 1 blunder. Okay, 3 was a blunder. Oh, I don't know why this move was... Why was pawn take so much better? Oh. Because you're threatening the pawn and you're threatening to win the queen. And just win a pawn. So king up and then queen takes. Fair enough. I didn't see that at all. Didn't even look at it. Wait. Why can't he just... Oh, he can't just take here because of this. This is pinned. I see. I see. I see. Stuff my brain doesn't think about because my brain can't think all of the thoughts that are possible to think. So, that's why studying opening theory is good. I want to go back really quickly to live now. I wanted to go back to the studies. And see if this graph actually shows up. There's the graph. So it went kind of how it looked like it was supposed to versus a 1600 and got into black. Then it came right on out and climbed up there. So that's that. Joel's here finally. The analysis is just coming to an end for these two, but Joel, I'm gonna upload this analysis video to YouTube so you can watch it tomorrow. It'll be up by tomorrow, and also just you can rewatch the stream if you'd like. Either way, you can find it one way or the other. I'll probably also post the link in the Clovis Chess page. The games are interesting, quite interesting. So, anyway, thanks everybody. Good night. I'm gonna send you off to hopefully somebody interesting. Why so serious, perhaps? I'll give Yana over to Why So Serious. Mark Esserman. So none of my games were ridiculous. They were all reasonable. Probably the only ridiculous thing that I did in this tournament, like crazy ridiculous thing, was that opening trap that I fell for. Otherwise, apparently all the games were reasonable, and that kid's gonna probably be an IM at age 12 or something. So
Probably that was one that they did in the first game. Set the tone for the rest of the games.
Mhm.
Paladins
Mhm.
and
Nah, that's fine. But seeing that is a confidence boost in and of itself. So I have 3 more games to upload, scrutinize, and I'll upload this video tonight. Hmm? Who's watching TV? Who's watching TV? Brian, can you turn the TV down or off, please? We gotta get up early. Down or off? Thank you. Central California 10th Annual.